All right, so we've created that W3 Schools link. Let's go ahead and create the home link and the code pen. What is your home file called? What's it actually called? It's called index.html, right? So I can go ahead and take my home and I can create an A tag, and I'm just going to open and close my A tag real quick, taking the closing tag right here and moving that to the end of home but before the break. Inside my A tag, I'm going to add an attribute for href equal to, and then in the quotation marks, what are you linking the home button to? Well, you're linking it to index.html because that's your homepage. Now, what's important to note is when you do that, you've just created a loop, right? If you think about it, you're in the index.html, you're clicking on home, which takes you back to the index.html, clicking on home. But when you're on CodePen, you want to be able to come back to the home page. If you have multiple other pages, you would want to be able to come back to the home page. This is consistent for all websites. Like if you think about going to CNN's website, they don't just have weather, but their button right here of CNN is to their homepage. It takes me back to their homepage every time. So that way, no matter what different area I am in here, it's going to take me back to that homepage. This is important to have so that either you have a logo or the word home so that your user can come back to your homepage because they're probably going to want to at some point. Okay, so the last one is CodePen. Do we have a file or a page where we're going to list all of our code pens yet? At this point, we do not. There are two ways that you can create this, and I think this is important to note. What we've been doing this whole time as we're looking at this, and I go ahead and save this and open it up in an internet browser, is we've been creating, if you think about it, a template. We've been creating a base structure of our website with padding, spacing, all those types of things. And there's things that every page has in common. And we've talked about this before when we look at websites like CNN. They all have the logo on the left. They all have this login information at the right. At the bottom, the footer is consistent across the board no matter where you are. And so every single one has this like copyright at the bottom here. It's got these terms of use, all these different things. Doesn't matter what page I go to, any page I go to, that's all consistent at the bottom. You can see this login information at the top is consistent. And the coloring and the spacing are all consistent as well. That's like a template. The stuff that's changing is the stuff in the middle usually. Now, their navigation is also changing because they have a very vast website, but basically their article or their main section is what's changing. So in here, if we think about it, our footer should stay consistent and our nav should stay consistent. Our header image is going to be on every one. And in the center here where our article is, that's where the content's going to change. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and do this two ways, and I want to show both ways because I think it's important. The first way is we're going to just create a new HTML file. So we're going to go File, we're going to go New, and we're going to make HTML be our document type. I'm going to go ahead and create that. All right. This is a brand new HTML file. We've never saved it. Okay, so we're going to go File and Save As. Make sure we're in our Notes website folder, and we're going to name it CodePen. All right, I'm going to then click Save, and you'll see that now I have a CodePen.html file over here, and I have a CodePen right here. What I think is important to note is that you have a bunch of coding of your template that's sitting over in your index that you need to bring over into here. So I'm going to go to my index, and I'm going to select everything. The quickest way to select everything in my coding is Control-A. That selects all. And that grabs everything, including the HTML, the head, the doc type, everything. I'm then going to copy it. So I'm going to Control-C to copy. I'm then going to go back to my CodePen.html tab, select everything because I'm replacing all of it, including the base structure, delete it, and hit Control-V or paste. When I do that and I click up in this preview up here, you're going to see everything is going to pop up exactly how it was. I'm going to then go into my article here. I'm going to delete the information in my article and replace it with CodePen links so I know I'm on a new page. This is my CodePen page. This is my index page. I'm then going to save it. Okay, So viewing my page here, I'm going to refresh and I've got a beautiful page, but I can't get to my CodePen page because this is not a clickable link yet. So I'm going to go back here. Now, the question is, what page was I looking at? This is important, okay? I was looking at my index.html. So I need to go edit my index.html file so that it has a clickable link to my CodePen file. This is important, okay? So I'm gonna go make sure I'm on my index. You have to make sure you're on the right file when you're making changes. I'm then gonna go down and where it says CodePen, I'm gonna make this be an A tag, an anchor tag. I'm gonna move the closing after the word CodePen, and I'm going to do an href equal to. And now what you'll have is if it refreshed, it would have CodePen listen here, which it didn't. I can type though or hit browse and I can go grab my codepen.html file. Click OK, and I've now linked to my CodePen file. So I can save this, Control S or File Save All, go to my page. Not a clickable link yet, but if I refresh this page to reload the code as the new code, it now becomes a clickable link. And I want you to watch the article. You should now, when you click this, see CodePen links pop up, and now you're looking at codepen.html. Pretty cool, right? However, we have an issue. CodePen is not a clickable link on here. All right. The home tab is I can go back to home and I can loop between home. I can keep clicking home and it'll loop me back to index.html. But CodePen, it needs to be a clickable link on every page, and it's not. This is important because when you take the coding of a page and you link it, you need things to be consistent across your web page. In CNN's website, these links are the same. Like I can click on HLN and I can loop back to HLN. If I go to Digital Studios, I can loop back to Digital Studios over and over again. You can see I'm clicking it, it's refreshing every single time. They need to be consistent. Your user needs it to be consistent. So how would I get CodePen to be a clickable link on the codepen.html? I'd have to go do the exact same thing. So this time in Dreamweaver, I need to make sure I'm on the right file, codepen.html, and I have to go make this an A tag as well. Linkable to an href of codepen.html. Okay, save it. Let's go refresh it. It's now a clickable link. I'm on codepen.html up here, and it's a clickable link to loop me back into it. I've just created my first website with multiple web pages.